Elias Abuelazam, Arabic, Hebrew, born August 29, 1976, is an Israeli Arab convicted murderer and suspect of racial serial killing and multiple stabbings. He is suspected in a string of 18 stabbing attacks in the spring and summer of 2010 which resulted in 5 deaths. Most of the alleged attacks occurred in Genesee County, Michigan, particularly in and around Flint. 5 stabbings occurred outside of Michigan, 3 in Leesburg, Virginia and another in Toledo, Ohio, and 1 in his native home in Ramla, Israel. Abuelazam is also suspected in an unsolved March 2009 homicide in Leesburg. All of Abuelazam's alleged victims were described as small-framed, e.g., short, thin, non-muscular men, most of them African Americans. During the investigation, Michigan media dubbed him the Genesee County Serial Slasher, or alternately, the Genesee County Serial Stabber. Abuelazam was 6 feet 5 inches and weighed 280 pounds at the time of his booking. Abuelazam has been convicted in one of the murders, that of 49-year-old Arnold Minor in Flint, Michigan, which occurred on August 2, 2010. He is currently serving a sentence of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for that crime. As a result, Genesee County prosecutors have announced Abuelazam will not stand trial for the other crimes in their jurisdiction, nor will authorities in Toledo or Leesburg try him. He is currently incarcerated at Bellamy Creek Correctional Facility in Ionia, Michigan as Michigan Department of Corrections inmate number 842,658. Personal life. Abuelazam was born in Ramla, in central Israel, to a well-to-do Christian Arab family. Until 2008, he worked as a clerk at King Water Market in Beecher, Michigan from July 5 to August 1, 2010. Most customers knew him as Eli? He was cited for giving alcohol to a minor July 29. The same day a 59-year-old man was stabbed in Flint, Michigan. Abuelazam's legal address is in Bradenton, Florida. According to the warrant, he previously lived in Grand Blanc, Michigan, according to Michigan's Secretary of State records. Abuelazam most recently lived in a house that his uncle owns located on Maryland Avenue near Regal Avenue on the east side of Flint, Michigan. Abuelazam married Jessica Hirth, also known as Jessica Nimitz. Crimes. Police and prosecutors claim that between May and August 2010, Abuelazam would drive around late at night, approach small-framed men who were walking alone, ask for directions or help fixing his vehicle, a green-colored Chevrolet Trailblazer, and then stab them, usually in the chest or stomach. Abuelazam is also suspected of having stabbed a friend in the face with a screwdriver while on a visit to his family in Ramla in early 2010. Police did not pursue the case because the friend refused to press charges. Investigation. In Genesee County on August 4, 2010, it was announced that a string of stabbings that date back to May 2010 was the work of one man and a multi-jurisdictional task force was set up to investigate. Arrests. First arrest. He was arrested August 5, 2010 in Arlington, Virginia. During a traffic stop, he was taken into custody because he had a warrant out for his arrest for simple assault and later released on personal bond. Second arrest and extradition. Abuelazam was arrested by U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers on August 11, 2010 at 10:00 p.m. ET in Hartsfield, Jackson Atlanta International Airport, while preparing to board a Delta Airlines flight bound for Tel Aviv. At his arraignment, he was ordered held without bond by the judge, even after the prosecutor asked for $10 million bail. Arnold Minor murder trial. During the evidentiary hearing for the Arnold Minor murder case, the judge ruled that evidence of the other Genesee County attacks could be used in the trial. Dismissed charges. On August 26, 2010, the Genesee County Prosecutor's Office charged him with 1 count of assault with intent to commit murder for an attack on July 27, 2010. On October 8, 2010, an Ohio grand jury indicted Abuelazam and charged him with felonious assault in the stabbing of church janitor Tony Leno in Toledo, Ohio. On October 21, 2010, he was charged with murder in the stabbing deaths of Frank Kellebrew and Darwin Marshall of Flint, Michigan. On November 4, 2010, he was charged with 2 counts of resisting and obstructing a police officer causing injury, and 3 counts of resisting and obstructing a police officer after he attempted to punch a deputy and had to be tasered with the help of 4 other officers on October 27, 2010. On November 12, 2010, he was charged with malicious destruction of property for smashing out the windows of a car belonging to James Augsburger, boyfriend of witness Lucinda Mann. On November 23, 2010, he was charged with assault with intent to murder in the stabbing of Antoine Jackson on July 12, 2010 in Burton, Michigan. Appeals. Abuelazam hired a new attorney, Christopher M. Smith, who filed an appeal based on the original trial judge's rejection of a motion for a change of venue due to the extensive media coverage of the case which, they claimed, wrongly called him a serial killer, and refuted the judge's decision to allow evidence of the other attacks or testimony of his other alleged victims. On June 10, 2014, the Michigan Court of Appeals upheld Abuelazam's conviction. Deportation lawsuit. On August 1, 2014, Abuelazam filed a case in federal court against the Immigration and Naturalization Service and the United States Attorney General asking to be deported to Israel to face charges of an attempted murder that happened on October 1, 2009. Michigan authorities think the lawsuit is frivolous and expect it to be dismissed, noting that it is legally impossible because of Abuelazam's life without parole status, since convicts cannot be deported until their full sentence is served. In popular culture, the Abuelazam case was profiled on a July 8, 2013 episode of the investigation discovery show Blood, Lies and Alibis titled Serial Slasher. Quote, it featured reenactments of some of his attacks, the investigation and his arrest, actual footage of some of his attacks and his arrest and trial, as well as testimony by Genesee County law enforcement officials, local media, surviving victims, and Arnold Minor's relatives.